Hello, Moline High School. It is October 16th, 2024, and your SEL lesson for today is about relationships. So just kind of there it is, starting again. Okay. Hey, Moline High School. It is October 16th, 2024, and your SEL lesson for today is about relationships. A few updates from the counseling department. Credit recovery in night school is up and running. If you failed a core class last school year, you could be working on credit recovery in night school. If you have questions, reach out to your counselor to get yourself signed up. Now, as a side note, if you still need to complete the SEL survey and 5 Essentials pre-survey, go do those now. You can stop this video and go work on those surveys. The links are on the Google document in the Google Classroom. So now we're going to jump into respect. So let's review. So when we do a Google search about respect, we can talk about respect being a noun or a verb. A noun being a feeling of deep admiration for or due regard for the feelings, wishes, rights, or traditions of others. As a verb, it kind of means that we admire someone or something. We could admire them deeply. We could admire something deeply as a result of their abilities, qualities, or achievement. So what can you do to show respect? Here are some ideas: being honest with yourself and others, understanding other people's boundaries, think before you speak, be polite and use manners. One of my favorites, showing empathy. That's a great way to show respect. Now let's also talk about responsibility. When we're reviewing what responsibility is, we talk about that being the state or fact of being accountable or to blame for something, or the opportunity or ability to act independently and make decisions without authorization. So those are all big fancy words, and I think a lot of you already know what responsibility means. We've talked about it for a few years in these SEL lessons. I know this is new to the freshmen and what we've talked about as a Moline High School social emotional lessons, but I think everybody pretty much understands what responsibility means. So what can you do to show responsibility? You can own up to your mistakes. You can practice really good time management, being on time to class, communicating with others, honesty and trust. That's a really big one. And also taking accountability and ownership of your actions, choices, and behavior. That's probably one of the ways that I define responsibility a lot, is taking accountability and ownership of your actions and your choices and your behaviors. So even with those definitions, respect and responsibility can mean different things to different people. It can also be expressed differently in different cultures. There is also the question of respect being earned versus expected. And again, that can vary a lot in cultures and in different home environments and just kind of the people that you're around. Respect and responsibility can also show up in all areas of your life. It can show up at school, work, home, friends, pretty much anywhere, and it can look different in all the different environments. So now we're going to jump into relationships. So a relationship is the way in which two or more concepts, objects, or people are connected, or the state of being connected. Another part of the definition would be the way in which two or more people or groups regard and behave towards each other. So relationships can go beyond just families, friends, partners. Relationships exist all around us. They can be built with teachers, classmates, co-workers, bosses, even people at the grocery store, people you see in the hallway, or even that annoying driver on the road. You have some sort of a relationship, some sort of connection between them. But one of the most important relationships that I always like to talk about with my students is the relationship you have with yourself. That is a really huge one. You have to really be able to have a relationship with yourself, get to know you, and be really comfortable with yourself. Okay, let's put all three of those words together and talk about them all together. So responsibility is showing the world the person you want to be by doing the right thing, even when no one's looking or even when it's hard. Respect is treating others the way you want to be treated, using kind communication, even when you don't agree. And relationships, how people are connected and behave towards one another. Focusing on respect and responsibility with your peers, and the peers are the people that you go to school with and who are around your age. And are you someone who wants to be considered respectful and responsible with your peers, with the people around you? If so, then you should consider how you are projecting yourself to the world around you. Do you use kind words? Do you keep your hands to yourself? Are you respecting other people's boundaries? Even when you're joking and messing around with your peers, it is important to remember that respect and responsibility still apply. I have always tried to teach my kids, and I've always tried to talk to students that I'm with, that treat others the way you want to be treated. So if you like to joke around and mess around with others, then you should be okay with being joked around with as well. So you just want to remember that how you present yourself to other people and the way that you treat other people is probably how you're going to get treated back. So what is your relationship with your peers? Take a moment to think about that. Do you take responsibility or ownership for how you treat others? Do you respect your peers' boundaries? How do you respond to your friends? How do you respond to the people around you? And what are the things that you can do to work on all of that stuff if sometimes you don't do the best job? These are excellent questions. You guys could pause the video now and talk about them, or you can just kind of think about them on your own. So now we're also going to talk about relationships with teachers, because that's probably one of the biggest things everybody deals with every day is how we get along with and the kind of relationships we build with our teachers. Respect and responsibility can look a little bit different with teachers. But when we talk about it with teachers, it's to remember that it goes for all adults at school, at work, and even in public. So how does being respectful and responsible with peers or people your own age look different than it does with teachers or adults? Does that look different with adults at school as work as compared to adults at home or in the family? Because respect and responsibility, there can be like a general respect and responsibility in your head about just anybody around you, but it does look a little bit different on how you act and how you behave and the things that are expected out of you at home versus in public. So you could take some time to even pause the video and talk about that now as a class, or you can just think about it on your own. So one of the hardest parts about teaching respect and responsibility is that we can talk about it all day, but it really comes down to action. Respect and responsibility to me are actions and not just words. It's very easy to talk about what you should do as compared to what you will do. And I think that goes for anybody at any age. That doesn't just have to do with high school students. I think that goes for anybody. We always talk about what we should do, but what actions are we going to take when we're actually put into the position of needing to be respectful and responsible? Having respect and responsibility can also lead to having good and healthy relationships. Okay, it was a lot of me talking today. So now what you're going to do. Again, here's the links to the surveys. A reminder to get those done. They're due by this Friday, October 18th. So please take time to do them. As of the time I made this video, which is on Friday the 11th, we only had 48% participation in the surveys. So we really want to get that number higher and get as many students as we can to complete those surveys. Also for today, there is a survey from student activities. They want to know things that you are interested in about dances and about different stuff like that. So please complete the student activities survey. It'll be in the Google Classroom. We would love to get some feedback on your perspective of dances and other activities from Student Congress. And then finally, questions from today's activity on relationships, respect, responsibility, and relationships. Those questions are on a Google Doc in the Google Classroom. Everybody has a copy of that. You can do them as a group or individual. Just take some time to think about them and think about your respect and responsibility in your own world. All right, Moline High School, have a great rest of your day. I will see you in a couple weeks. Bye.